Yeah. Yes, I like to order. You got any white bread? Yeah, that's good. Let me get some white bread toasted. No, nothing to drink with that. What? Butter or jelly? No, plain, ma'am. All right. Also, you got any chicken? Best fried chicken. Okay. Let me get 4 fried chickens and a Coke. No, not legs or wings, ma'am. 4 whole fried chickens and a Coke. Yes, and some dry white toast, please. Nothing to drink with that. And a Coke. And can you hurry up? I'm on a mission from God. Yo, it's me, it's the SCODD. Welcome to Flashback Fridays, where we take a look at an 80s film and give it a review. And here today, we're looking at the Blues Brothers. From 1980, so sitting in the 80s film, and it stars Dan Aykroyd and the late, great John Belushi. You know, watching this movie, I don't realize how many people in this movie have actually passed away. Off the top of my head, John Belushi, John Candy, Cab Calloway, one of the guys in the band, I think, I'm not sure which one, Steve Cropper, I think, Carrie Fisher, Henry Gibson, yeah, probably more. There's a lot of people who passed away. Ray Charles, you know. One thing I want to say before I begin is, they don't make comedies like this. They don't make movies like this anymore, man. Think about this. It's a musical, a rated R musical comedy, with 2 legends from Saturday Night Live playing roles that they played on Saturday Night Live. I guess you can call this the first Saturday Night Live movie, but there was another one that came out before this, I guess, but I don't remember what it's called. So what's the story here? The story is Jake Blues is being released from prison 2 years early of his 5-year imprisonment for good behavior, I guess. And he hooks up with his brother, Elwood, and they decide, so Elwood takes Jake to see the Penguin. That's like, I think it's Sister Mary or Mother Mary, whatever, at the church. And she tells them that they owe $500 and they're going to close down the orphanage if they don't pay that $5,000. So, after getting kicked out of the office by Sister Mary, they are greeted by their friend and father figure, Curtis, played by the late Cab Calloway, who tells them that they need to go see old Reverend Cleophas, played by the late great James Brown. And, so they go to see Reverend Cleophas, and this is where Jake sees the light. I have seen the light! Jesus H. This is Christ! I have seen the light! The band! So he gets the idea to bring the band back together. And so now they must go on a journey to get the band back together. They find Murph and the Magic Tones, which is kind of, I think it's a cheap way, is that most of their band is in one place, and then they just got to get one person in another place and 2 people in another place. They get Murph and the Magic Tones. There's like 4 of them there. I think it's Murph, Cropper, Dunn, and Willie. And then from there, they got to go get Mr. Fabulous, who is a maitre d' at this fancy dancy restaurant. It has one of my favorite scenes. How much for the girls? What? The women! How much for the women? How much for your wife? You know, I love that scene. And then, so they get him, and then they gotta go, and like a fan favorite scene is where they gotta go get Matt Guitar Murphy and Blue Lou at a restaurant, which, you know, what I quoted at the beginning of this. They did 4 fried chickens and a Coke, and I love that, do they? Someone ordered dry white toast, Elwood. What the other one ordered? 4 fried chickens and a Coke. and Jake, shit, the Blues Brothers. So then I know it's them, you know, and then you get to think what you're trying to do to me. Yeah, think Aretha Franklin. It's another one that passed away. Man, everybody dead. But anyway, so yeah, then everybody's back together, but they ain't got nowhere to go. So, first of all, they said they're going to contact Morris Line, but something happens, and I'll get to that. So then, they weren't able to contact Morris Line, so they pretend they're the good old boys. And they sing country western music at Bob's Country Barbecue, I think it's called. Bob's Country Bunker, that's what it is. Bob's also in the sequel, by the way. Yeah, and they sing, like, the theme to Rawhide and Stand By Your Man. And then they drink more beer. Like, I guess the good old boys are getting paid $200, but they drink $300 worth of beer. So like, oh, Bob, $100. And so they ditch, of course, just as real good old boys show up. And what the thing about this is it's also a chase film. Because you got cops, Bob and the good old boys, and Illinois Nazis, led by Henry Gibson. It's only in the early 80s because you get a film like this. And as they keep repeating over and over again, run a mission from God. And so it sure seems like God is pushing them because they get that money. And they save the orphanage. And we'll leave it for that for the next, when I do the review for the sequel. But they save the orphanage. So it certainly seems like God is pushing them forward. So, yeah. This movie is a classic. Absolutely a classic. I do have a few problems with it. Carrie Fisher. God bless her soul. I don't think her, as much as, it's funny, she keeps showing. So, there's this woman played by Carrie Fisher. We find out later she had some kind of jilted romance with Jake where he left her at the altar, right? She keeps constantly showing up and shooting at them to try to kill them. She she destroys Elwood's apartment. She blows up a phone booth and sends them flying into the air. And then she's a horrible shot, shooting them in a tunnel, right at them and misses them. And Jake smooth talks his way out, gives her a kiss and throws her down, and then she starts shooting at him again. I just don't think that she was necessary. Like, we don't even know her name. We don't know what she's doing until she, tells Jake what he did. And even Jake doesn't know who she is by the end of it. And they never come around to explain, like, Elwood doesn't ask, who is that? And with the punchline, you think maybe the end of this would be, who was that? Hell if I know. I don't think she was necessarily needed, especially when you have a bunch of other people chasing after them. You didn't need her showing up everywhere they go. Like, how was she finding them everywhere they went? I mean, come on. I understand at the end because they had those flyers out, but everywhere they were going, there she was, Elwood's apartment. Some random ass phone booth in the middle of bumfuck nowhere, and she's right there. It makes no sense. Is there anything else that I want to talk about negatively before I go on to my positives, basically? I don't think so. I think Carrie Fisher is the only thing, much as I like the actress, may she rest in peace, I just think she's the one thing. Like, you have a bunch of other things. Along the way, they accumulate people chasing after them. And I understand it pisses people off, people are going to chase after them. But, oh yeah, here's another thing. Why don't the cops arrest them? Like, they're waiting for them to show up at the big concert thing. They show up, but the cops allow them to perform instead of just running up there and arresting their ass and throwing them in jail. Also, at the end of the film, when they show that everyone, including the band, has been arrested, why was the band arrested? They did nothing wrong. They're innocent bystanders in this. They're just, I understand that they were at Bob's Country Bunker, But they can explain that they had no idea what was going on. The Blues Brothers were behind the deception and the subterfuge. They had no idea. They thought they were supposed to be there for a gig, but the only thing they know is that they were supposed to pay for their beer. That's it. So they end up in jail with them. As funny as it is to see them all singing Jailhouse Rock, I don't think it's necessary. Now, let's go on to the positives here. The music is awesome. I love blues music. This movie got me into blues music. And if you can say anything about the sequel, but that's probably one of the best things about that is the music. And I don't hate the sequel, by the way. The music in this is pretty good. The celebrity cameos are good. You got John Lee Hooker, who's probably also passed away. You're watching this movie and you see that a lot of these celebrities in here have passed away, and it's just like, oh, it makes you sad a little bit. But the movie is so good that you kind of just keep going. And the music is awesome. The comedy is on point. There's the scene, the famous scene where they're going through the freaking mall, destroying stuff. It's absolutely amazing. And so, ladies and gentlemen, I have to give the Blues Brothers a 10. So what are your thoughts on the Blues Brothers? Let me know in the comments below. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. I've been Scotty. It's 106 miles to Chicago. I got a full tank of gas. Half a pack of cigarettes. It's dark. We're wearing sunglasses. Hit it!